This is Keith Fraser. This week on Cojones Icons, we really have got an icon, a sporting icon. He is in town because of Undisputed, which is the title of the show that he's going to be taking part in. Well, it is about him. On the 6th of September at the Indigo at the O2, where you'll hear all the stories, all the ins and outs of the things you didn't know about. He is Lennox Lewis. Lennox, great to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Lennox, this is about cojones. This is about mindset. One thing I noticed in your career, in fact, I'm a big sports fan across the spectrum of sports. Yeah.
When you say cojones, how is that a mindset?
Because it's about bravery, about courage, audacity, boldness. And you the first question I was going to ask you about your mindset was maybe save Roger Federer or a similar thing. You were very calm, very collected, cool. I don't think I've ever seen anyone that cool. Was there anything going on underneath, nerves, self-doubt, or anything during that time?
It's interesting because people, when I run this camp it's called League of Champions Foundation, and it's the Lennox Lewis League of Champions Foundation, and I get young kids all the time coming and learning to box, and it's frustrating, and it's kind of like, mind unsettling for them because they get so nervous because they're trying something new, doing something they haven't done before, and now we have to take them through it. So what I usually do, I make it easy for them to learn. The jab is so easy because it's like reaching out and touching somebody. So I said, reach out and touch him. Reach out and touch him. So they do it a couple of times, and they realize that's the movement of the jab. So it's easy to teach people because I understand how frustrating it is to learn. So I try and figure out the easiest way to teach them so they take it in.
So by teaching them aspects of the fight game, of the sweet science, as you used to call it, you're building it in, you're wiring it in the muscles without even them needing to get nervous. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like let me give you an example. For my son, right? My son came up to me and said, "Dad, you don't teach me boxing. Why don't you teach me?" I said, "I don't teach you boxing, eh? Okay. Put your hands up." So he put his hands up, and I went like this. He blocked it. I went like this. He blocked it. I said, "What do you mean I don't teach you boxing? What do you think you're doing?" And he thought about it, and he's going, "Oh." So I was actually teaching him, and he didn't even know I was teaching him. It's like, polish off. Yeah. And he doesn't realize he's teaching him the block motions, and he didn't realize it.
I got two more quick questions to ask you for this. Now, one of them is, you did come under a little bit of criticism from the critics and people saying that you didn't excite enough. Not from where I was standing, because I like the sweet science. Did you ever feel you needed to prove yourself in that department, or were you so self-assured you believed your way or the highway?
Actually, all three of them. Sometimes, when people said, "Oh, I'm not exciting," I'm like, "Okay, well, how exciting do you want me to be? Because this guy's dangerous, and one slip, people are gonna say to me, 'Oh, well, why did you take that chance?'" You know what I mean? So you can't win or lose that way. But for me, it's not about being exciting. It's about going in there and doing the things that you can do. So my trainer knew I could do all these things. I knew I could do all these things. So he wanted me to go in there and do them. So I did it. So I attempted it. And while attempting it, things happened that happened good. And I was able to knock out my opponents. But you have to take the chances, basically, I'm saying, to become good. And you have to take the chances to take the glory as well. Because if you go out and if you have a nice right hand and you're not throwing it, then how do you expect to knock somebody out?
And one last question, Lennox. People can learn so much from sports, from sporting heroes, from icons like yourself. What would you say to the average person out on the street who has dreams to fulfill? The Lennox Lewis mindset and professionalism and sporting success. How can people learn from that?
Now you're getting into the Lennoxisms. I think the main thing is really set a goal for yourself, and the goal may be up here. Then you have to realize, well, what are the things I need to do to complete this goal? So if it's like, sacrificing, getting up in the morning and going running and training, these are the things you have to do to reach your goal. And it's just simple like that. It's like A, B, C, D, until you reach to the L, your championship or wherever you want to reach, and, obviously it's like a road trying to get to the top. There's going to be potholes, there's going to be curves, there may even be barriers, but it's for you to overcome.